Hi guys, my name is Miguel Bustamante. I'm 28 years old and I live in New York City. And since I was 17 years old, I've been dealing with knee issues. And last week, I had my third knee surgery. It was a lateral meniscus transplant. And the reason why I decided to make this series of videos is because while I was researching about the surgery and going through the decision-making process, trying to understand the procedure, even though there are tons of information out there, medical information, medical journals, and the procedure has been conducted for the past 25 years, it was really hard for me to find live testimonials of people who underwent the procedure and what the process was and their day-to-day basically. So I decided to make these videos to share with you a little bit of what my issue was, why I decided to have the surgery, and now that I'm 1 week in to the rehab process, and how is it going, what are the challenges, the advantages, if any, and what my evolution is. I certainly would have loved to find this type of information on the internet. I hope it is useful and it can help you if you're going through the same issues that I've been going through since more than 10 years ago. So just to start, to give you a little bit of context about my problem, I used to play soccer at a competitive level since I was 5 years old. As a result of that, during a match, I tackled someone. When I got up, I felt this sharp pain in my meniscus. This was back in 2007. And I felt the sharp pain. Long story short, after conducting some tests, the result was that I had torn my meniscus. At that point in time, I was only 17 years old, and we thought that it was kind of like a big deal to undergo surgery at such a young age. So I tried with therapy for about a year, and I would go back to the pitch, and then I would come out with feeling a lot of pain. So I did that for around a year. After that, it was pretty obvious that the meniscus was not gonna heal by itself, so a procedure would be required. However, after going over the options, we decided to go with the most conservative and viable, which was a meniscus repair. So I got my first surgery, meniscus repair, back in 2007. It was a long process, around 6 to 8 months to go back to full activities. And the meniscus felt fine after that. I still had some reminiscent pain, but nothing compared with the original pain. Anyways, moving forward, I moved to the States in 2010, and I quit soccer. And after soccer, I became pretty obsessed with bodybuilding and working out and all the stuff. And one day, I was doing some squats, very deep squats, went down, back up, and I felt the sharp pain that I was already familiar with from the first injury. And I went to visit the doctor, did the typical procedure, MRIs, checkups, etc., and found out that I had re-injured my meniscus. At this point, this meniscus was not up for repair, since they already repaired and the torn had been bigger. So the doctor suggested that I should go for a meniscectomy. So that's exactly what we did. Meniscectomy. I was already familiar with the arthroscopy process, got the surgery done, was already familiar with rehab and all this type of stuff and the process. So after a month or two, I visited the doctor and told him that I still felt pain. The pain wasn't there all the time. It was certainly subsiding little by little, but But when I try to do activities, especially impact activities, running, jumping, squatting, anything, climbing the stairs, up and down would be painful as well. I couldn't ride the bike. So even though I could live with that pain and it was bearable, I could certainly not be able to do all the activities that I enjoyed. So doctor suggested just to go like that for a period of time and see if that would heal. And my career got in the middle, so I focused on that and put sports and my activity in the backseat, and was okay with that for a few years. After I graduated college in 2015, I started to put my health and these type of things that I enjoy back on the front seat, and decided to find out what it was that was wrong with my knee. So after that, I decided to go to NYU Langone Orthopedic Center here in New York City, and came across Dr. Kerr Campbell. And he saw my knee and conducted the usual MRIs, X-rays, everything, and he saw a pretty healthy knee with not a lot of meniscus left. After my second meniscectomy, there was barely something there, and he thought that I could live like that if the priority wasn't getting into sports or activity. So he suggested I should try with conservative treatment, which I did. I did therapy. I would go back and see him with no progress. But again, I was just starting a new job, didn't want to take time off to go through a lengthy surgery and rehab process. So I did that. I was seeing him like every 6 months for the past 3 years. And this year I said, I'm not gonna do this anymore. The meniscus, this pain is not gonna go away. It's conflicting with the things that I want to do in my life. So I went to visit Dr. Campbell at the beginning of the year, and I asked him that I wanted to be scheduled for the surgery and get the approval. And in terms of like the approval process, I think the surgery is becoming more and more popular, but it's still difficult to get approval for this type of surgeries. Mine was smooth because apparently there are certain criteria for you to be a good candidate for this surgery, and I'm going to mention a few that come to my head. You need to have many meniscectomies or knee surgeries previously. You need to be under the age of, I think, 55, relatively young. You should be, had no signs of arthritis in your knee or any other issues, and have some stability in your knee so that they don't have to go there and break down your bone or anything like that. So I met all that criteria, so he scheduled me for the meniscus transplant, explained to me where the meniscus came from. I'm not gonna go into the details because you're probably watching the video, you have already done some research about it. And he told me I would call you once I find your graft, and we're good to go. However, before that, he asked for a second opinion from one of his colleagues, Dr. Strauss. So I went to see Dr. Strauss. He assessed my knee, and he said that, according to what he sees and what he sees on the MRI, he could tell that I have very little meniscus. Fortunately, I didn't have signs of arthritis yet, and that this would be a procedure that would help me a lot. One in protecting my knee, second in going back to activities, third with the pain, but also made me aware of, this was a lengthy process and was a different surgery from the ones that I have experienced in the past. So I decided to go with the procedure. I was scheduled for April 30th, which was last Tuesday. Pretty standard procedure if you're familiar with surgeries. I went to the hospital, checked in, saw the different doctors, got my CAT scan, the injections, everything. Got general anesthesia as well as a block on my leg. And the surgery lasted about 1 hour and a half. I went in at 3 p.m. The surgery lasted about, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours. They were very happy. They told my family they were very happy with how the procedure went, and how the rest of my knee looked, which was encouraging. So I came out of the anesthesia around 6 p.m. It hit me hard. I stayed in the hospital until 11 p.m., 11:30, got home by midnight or something. So that was the surgery, and that was the point where the rehab started. So that night I was pretty heavy on anesthesia still, and I had the nerve block, so I didn't feel a lot of pain. And they prescribed me with some oxycodone for every 6 hours, and one pill for a week, and some Tylenol, some aspirin, another set of pills, I don't remember the name. So I started to take those. First day was pretty standard, sitting down, didn't feel a lot of pain. I felt a lot of pins and needles, which was very bothersome and uncomfortable and unsettling. I think that was a result of the nerve block. I had nerve blocks in the past, so I know that could cause that. But I didn't feel a lot of pain. So one thing that I would like to mention is, surprisingly, since I had the surgery, I don't know if this is because of the pain, it's been really, really difficult for me to sleep or feel tired. I am alert all the time. I have a pretty good sleep for the most part. Feel tired easily, get 8 to 9 hours of sleep easily. But since that day, I'm alert all the time. My body is just active all the time. I don't feel tired, even though I know I'm tired, even though my legs are tired and my back is tired from sitting down. So I thought I would get better with the days, but it hasn't. It's been a week now. The surgery was April 30th, last Tuesday. 7 days after, I haven't been able to sleep much, which has been difficult. Not going around. I have crutches, so I use them to go to the bathroom. That's about it. To stand for a few minutes in the morning and in the afternoon. That's that. In terms of the pain, it's been very painful. Look, I have already removed all my bandage and everything. I can show you how my knee looks like a little bit. So I had 4 incisions. I think this is the one where they introduced the meniscus. Their tools went in here and in here, and they work it here. So it looks pretty good. It's swelling a little bit. If you look at my other knee, compare them, it's not that terrible. So I'm happy how the scarring process is going. Can't complain much about that. But also, prior to surgery, the doctor suggested that I should be doing these 4 exercises. One is taking my food, doing this, I think, for circulation, trying to strengthen my quads, and hardening them and softening them. That I haven't been able to do that. My quad right now, I don't feel it. It's non-existent. All the muscles is going to waste right now. So that's been difficult. Leg raises. I've been able to do those, but it still causes a lot of pain, especially in the lateral portion of my knee over here on my left knee. And the other one was range of motion. He wanted me to do like up to 60 degrees. That's impossible for me to do at this point. I have tried, but it freaks me out. It hurts a lot. I feel a lot of stiffness, and as the effect of the nerve block wore off, I feel in more and more stiffness. I've been trying to ice my knee as much as possible. they suggested like every hour, every 2 hours, 20 minutes. I haven't been able to do that. But when I put it for 30 minutes, at least like 3 times a day, and I feel some relief. I feel that it helps, so I should do it more. So I'm gonna try to do that, and that on my end. I think that's it, guys. It's been a rough first week. Not a lot of moving around. My family has been taking care of me, and my girlfriend has been there for me all the time. So I barely have to do anything. The challenge has been sleeping, feeling restful, feeling relaxed. I'm always alert. The pain is there. If I don't take the pills, it's just intense pain, lateral portion, a lot of stiffness. Even though you see there isn't a lot of inflammation, it still hurts a lot. I hope I think I have my first post-op checkup on Friday. So we will see what the doctor says. I don't know if my wounds are dry enough for them to remove the stitches. But I will keep you updated on that. And what else can I tell you? No, I think that's it. I hope this helps you. If you have questions, comment below. I'll be happy to reply. And that's it. I'll see you next week, and I'll keep you updated on the progress. Let me know if you have any questions. I hope this helps. Bye bye.